Who told the regime that Cuba belongs to them and only them?
Saying that COVID and hunger is what is causing the protests in Cuba, and that's not the truth.
It's not only COVID and hunger.
You are tired of the government. You are tired of being free. That's what they're fighting for.
That's why they're changing US.
They want to be free. They want to be free. Set Cuba free. That's what they want.
That's what people want. People want a change, a radical change in the government.
Yeah.
People want a new system, a democratic system. We have a dictatorship in Cuba, and we have been having that for years and years, and people is tired of that. We are tired. We are tired of that. That's what we're protesting. That's what people is protesting on the streets of Cuba, and that's why they are giving their lives in Cuba to the hands of the police and the army. They want a radical change on the government of Cuba. I will say to all of you that communism sounds pretty when you talk about it, if you want to promote it.
If you read it in a book,
yes,
it's beautiful.
But in real life it's suffering. It degrades the society. It oppresses the ones that are not on top, the ones that are not part of the elite. Coming from a communist country, I can tell you that's the last thing you want for a country like America. That's what like many countries in the world are trying to fight against. And let me tell you something else. There's a lot of Cubans here that are working for the Cuban government that are trying to brainwash the mind of the American people and the people like the international community here in the U.S. We gotta be careful. We gotta be resilient with that. We can let that happen here. Don't believe the good things they say about communism. It's not real.
This country is beautiful the way it is. Okay, don't change it. Okay, we're working good. This is the best country of the world. So God bless America. Don't change
it. If this country needed communism, we wouldn't come here.
Not socialism.
We don't want to be here if there was communism.
Okay, that's BS. BS.
I'm sitting in my car crying right now over the loss of more lives, and this is what is about to drive past me. I'm shaking. What is wrong with people?
Send her to Cuba.
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk. It's okay, because we're going to supplement the feeding with formula so that
send them to Cuba.
The nutrients that they need. But
Okay, listen. You will never, ever, you will never be able to produce milk. You are a man, okay? You can't produce milk. Maybe one day. I mean, you look like you can probably produce ketchup. You look like you can produce some bacon grease.
The Cuban people can't buy meat. It's illegal. You can't have your own business. It's illegal. If you're caught with your own business, they'll come and shut it down. Why? Because they want part of the money. It doesn't work. And we don't want it in this country. And that's why we're fighting. And that's why it's a problem. It's not a Cuban people problem. Okay, this is a problem for everyone in this country. For everyone that can easily be affected by communism. Latin America, South America. You do not want this. I mean, he came over here, risked his life as well, because he didn't have the basic freedoms like we do, and we take it for granted. We take it for granted, and it scares me when you have people on the left here saying how perfect it is, how you have the Bernie Sanders and the AOCs.
Send them to Cuba.
Trying to implement those stupid laws like they have in those countries. That's why we're here. You don't see Americans going to Cuba on a raft. You don't see that. You see the other way around. And anybody that believes their lies, I don't even know what to say.
Send them to Cuba.
And I can't even believe that we're in a situation where we're so close to communism in this country. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And he came from Cuba, and he can tell you like everything that the indoctrination of their children. I mean, it's all of these people around the world. It's not just here in Washington. It's not in Miami. The entire world is protesting. Somebody needs to wake up. Somebody needs to do something. It's you know, it's too much and nothing's being done. And it needs to stop because it's like a cancer. It's just grow and grow, and then there's no stopping it.
Hold up. Did you see how beautiful this woman was? Yee!
What the government is doing in Cuba is they're taking kids 14, 15, 16 years old. And in Cuba, military service, it's an obligation. It's not an option like it is here. You have to do it. If you're between the ages of military service, it's you know, it's a luxury that we have here that we can choose to go there. No, it doesn't matter the age. As long as you're in military service age, you have to do it. And what they're doing is they're taking these kids. They're like I said, they're 14, 15 years old. They're putting them into trucks, and they're making them go against their own town, against their own people, because they threaten them and say, if you don't do it, we're going to come after your parents. So when you see those people that are in favor of the government in Cuba, it's a lie. It's a lie. People are just scared, and that's what they've done. They've scared them to do what they want them to do. But Cuba wants to be free. Their people wants to be free. They want to have free speech. They want to have free and fair elections. They want what we have here, and that's so hard for some people to understand. And sometimes, I mean, they say free education. It's not free. It's not free because you know what? When you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you know what they're doing? They're picking oranges or they're picking potatoes because they make them work for an education. And then when they're done the free university, they have to dedicate their lives to the government. So it's not free. Don't think that a doctor is going to be a free medicine is going to be making what a doctor here in the United States makes. That's not what it is. So it's a lie. It's a lie. People, they buy it. And it's, I mean, it's sometimes people just take superficial news and they, okay, yeah, they told me it's like this and that's the way it is. It's not. It's not like that. Nothing is for free. Nothing is free. You have to work for it one way or the other. And like I tell people, I'd rather work for it on my own and do what I want to do than have a government tell me what I need to do, how to think, when to do it. That's not what you want. And that's not what this country's about. This is not what the United States is about.
It's your boy King Churro. And this message in this episode of the King Churro Chronicles is to you liberal American millennials, whatever age group you're in. All of you who think that communism and your so-called democratic socialism is a good thing. Bernie Sanders once said that it's a good thing for you to stand in line for your basic needs and essentials. That tells you right there, if you have to stand in line for medicine, right? Like I'm going to go to Walgreens right now and purchase some more Aleve, right? I don't have to stand in line other than at checkout. Whereas having to stand in line, hopefully you can get something. Why do you need the evidence and the proof? You just have to talk to someone who lived in a communist country and realize, why are they here in the United States if communism was so great? Man.
Well, you can open up all you want. We can pass a bill here that says open to Cuba, 100% open. You can do whatever you want, full free trade. You can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, the Cuban regime will control that opening. It's not just what we want to do, it's what they want to do. You want to do tourism? We tried that in 2015 when the Obama changes. And you know what they did? They said, thank you. We love the fact you're coming here as tourism. Guess what? All the tourist sites are owned by a holding company named Gaesa, controlled by the Cuban military. So everything comes through our hands.
So what do you think of the way that Joe Biden and the U.S. is handling all of this? I mean, obviously we have them asking for help.
To me, it's all talk until something's done. It's all talk. It's all talk. And if this administration really wants to not be, an ex-administration where people just forget about it, do something. You want the people to remember you? Do something. Donald Trump won Florida because of Cubans. He won Florida because of Cubans. Because he stands for what exactly we stand for. And that's why he won Florida. Because he understands and we understand that we don't want communism here. So if this administration wants to make a change, just like the Vatican, the Pope, what has he said? He hasn't said anything. Human rights, and then shaking the hand of Raúl Castro and Fidel Castro. What? I mean, I'm Catholic. What is that? And where are you now? I asked the Pope, where are you now with your human rights? They're killing women, they're killing children, and he's silent. He's silent. And sometimes silence is worse than if he would say something. So the people that were saying things before in peace and harmony and human rights are silent now. So to me, actions speak louder than words. If you want to change and you want to help us, do something. So right now, to me, the administration is silent, and that's why we're really upset and we're mad, because it's right now there's people getting beat. There's people that are missing. There's sons and daughters and children that are missing you're sitting at home, and because you think differently than the government. Can you imagine that happening here? You just think different than the administration. They'll come into your house and take you, and that's it. You're missing. People don't know who you are anymore. That's insane. And that's exactly what's happening in Cuba. People are missing just because they disagree with the government. That's communism. And that's why we fight. That's why people are, oh no, because Cubans, they, with Donald Trump and this and that or whatever. I mean, seriously, you have to, see what they have gone through. We've gone through so much. Families have been separated. It's really sad, and it's hard that people just look away. They just look away like, oh, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. It is. It's a human problem when you don't have human rights.
It's a human problem when you don't have human rights. Ain't that what we talk about with Pride? Or even with BLM? Basic human rights, equality, freedom to be yourself. But yet, we're not talking about all this, right? We don't talk about it when it comes to actual rights being taken away.
If you see this many people that risk their lives coming to this country, doesn't matter their color, they're black, they're white, they're mixed, every color of the rainbow, you have them in Cuba, and they're fighting for one thing. It's freedom and no more communism. You can't say this you can't do in Cuba, because if you guys and I tell this to people all the time, please research, look at not what they, trying to picture that it's perfect. It's not. They don't have medicine. They don't have food. We have to constantly send, medicine to our families. And then, if you think about it, if communism was so great, wouldn't it sustain itself? Wouldn't it be just the perfect paradise to live in? Why are so many people sacrificing their lives, their children's lives in a raft to come to freedom? And notice that the flag that they're lifting is the American flag. No other flag you see there. The Chinese flag's not there. The Venezuelan flag is there because they're searching for the same thing as us, freedom. You don't see the Russian flag. No other flag but the United States flag, the Cuban flag, and the other countries that are searching for the same exact thing that we want. Freedom for our people. They're starving. They're killing them. And they're not saying anything. And are all these people wrong? No.
We have always presented ourselves as being a nation of strength with strong arms, that when people are fleeing harm, we will embrace them. But look at what has happened with this administration. There are children who are fleeing murder capitals of the world. Let's be clear about this. Imagine a mother who makes a decision to pay a coyote to transport her child across the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril. She does that because she believes for that child to stay where they are is worse. But what does this president do? He virtually looks at those children and says, go back to where you came from.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
See, with the current administration that we have now in place, you know, it's all talk and no action. Literally, these guys will do all the talking, do all the jeering and ridiculing, but when it comes down to them doing some work, no, they ain't doing it. They're going to make another speech and they're going to basically they're just going to contradict themselves. And that's the whole point. You know, it's like, you know, you guys didn't want Trump in office. Cool. Give us somebody better then. You didn't. You gave us someone worse. And you picked a vice president who's even worse than he is. All I'm saying, guys, is there's neighbors 90 miles from our shores on the East Coast, and they need help. To all my Cuban Americans, all my Cubans who are trying to come to America, I don't know how I can financially support you because I can't. I don't know how I physically can support you because I'm not sure, and I'm not on that side. But I am going to spread awareness that there are people like you who need help. Right? There are people like you that need help. We need to stop pandering to people who don't give a shit about this country. If you don't care about being in America, go to Cuba. And then let those Cubans that want to come to America, come to America. The Cuban regime can continue doing what they do, while the Cubans who want to flee Cuba can come to America. Red Rover this shit. Thank you for watching.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. You can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.